Hey everybody, Blugoblin here for the very late return of the Midtown Comics stashes. It's all my fault. Yeah, it's like my bro, TheMtVernonKid, he sent me these books from Midtown Comics, and I was going to review these and get these read a long time ago, but you know, some personal things came up. I mean, some very personal things came up, and including me moving in with my girlfriend and everything. But I finally got around to it, and here we are. I'm finally going to review a stash of books that he sent me. The next stash, like I said, the Midtown Comics stashes have no set schedule. They get done when I read these books and get time to review them. So instead of reviewing some of these books issue by issue, I'm going to give my overall thoughts on some of these collectives that I've been getting. I'm going to start with the biggest one, and that's The Bounce. This is from Image Comics. I got The Bounce issues 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Issues 6 through 11 of The Bounce. Now, each one of these covers are just really cool. Not the most artistic thing in the world, but hey, you know, take it for what you can get. But this whole series, this whole storyline has been very trippy. And I mean that literally. I mean, this storyline has progressed and has been paced like a massive drug trip that, you know, it's hard to tell what world that you're in is the real world. You know, you got the real world, and you got this world full of superheroes and everything, and it's just one trip after the other. Meanwhile, you've got characters in comas that you want to see these characters wake up to help advance the story, yet at the same time, Silver, the character's name, her being in a coma actually does advance the story. You know, usually you'd be like, oh, come on, wake up, we need to know more. Her being in the coma actually helped advance the story, because our main character, I believe his name is Jasper, the Bounce, the main character, he wants to see this woman he had an affair with. He wants to see her wake up and explain more about what's going on, thus advancing the story. Meanwhile, you got the main antagonist, which is who calls himself the Darling. Hey, I've heard a lot worse names than that, but his last name happens to be Darling, so he just calls himself the Darling. Meanwhile, you got other minor antagonists. Like, one that I really had my eye on was the Vamp. The Vamp had really interesting powers and seemed like an interesting character, a character that could really go somewhere. But I was kind of let down with what they did with the Vamp. I mean, wow. You could finish up your story with the Darling and then do another story completely new with the Vamp, centered around the Vamp. That's how interesting I thought this character was, and the fact that she was just tossed aside to serve a purpose to the main antagonist in the Darling, that kind of disappointed me. But other than that, the Bounce has flowed very well. It doesn't bounce. The story does not bounce all over the place. It's a little cryptic and a little jumbled at times, but but for the most part, the pacing was good. The writing is good. Any action that we get, if at all, is good, and the storytelling is good. It's there. It's presented, and I thought Joe Casey and David Messina did a fantastic job with this. Is it the best stuff in the world? No, but for what it was, I enjoyed it. I thought this was really good. And if Chris wants to keep sending me this series, I say bring it. I mean, this is really good stuff. Let's see. Oh, I really loved this. Action Lab Entertainment presents Midnight Tiger, issue number 1. I loved this. I thought this was great. You know, taking, you know, classic superhero style storytelling and making it making it look more modern and everything. I thought this was really good. I thought some of the dialogue looked a little dated, just a little bit. But overall, this was fun. This was a fun beginning to this series. Really, really nicely well put, well paced. The main character, Midnight Tiger, he's really interesting. He's got all kinds of powers. He's got all this agility, heightened senses, and a healing factor, a damn impressive healing factor. His healing factor came off of looking almost like Wolverine's used to do, and I thought it was really well put. You know, gang warfare, just really good stuff. This was fun. I really liked it. Not much else to say about this. I mean, kudos to everybody who worked on this. This was great. I loved it. Alright, next up we're going to talk about, I'm going to look at Skye Man issues 3 and 4. This is from Dark Horse. Wow, this is good. This is really good. In issue 3 you get the question, Captain Midnight, friend or foe? Minor spoiler, he's a friend. But that's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, you got a superhero created by the government and by the military who actually believes in what he does. He's a Boy Scout. He wants to be your stereotypical Boy Scout good guy superhero. That's what he wants to be. Yet at the same time, he's being controlled. He knows it. He's being controlled by the military, being controlled by the government, you know, and everything. And you know, when push comes to shove, you know, it's like the government, we just got to have our way. We got to get what we want, you know, fuck what you want, you know, it's like, you know, all that shit. It's just really well told, really well put together. And that leads us into issue 4, Skye Man versus Skyman, which was the question on the cover, and it's really interesting. The soldiers that are sent to take out Skye Man and Captain Midnight, they're calling themselves the Skye Men because they have sort of what Skye Man has, that utility belt that gives him his powers. But what these military men have are early developed prototypes that aren't exactly stable, and that's all I'm going to say. Just the ending of this issue was just, ooh. But unfortunately, by the way this book was told and the way the ending was done, it seems like this is it. It's like I didn't see really any tease for the next issue. Is this a 4-issue? Now, I'm not familiar with this series, so I'm probably going to sound a little dumb when I ask this, but is this just a 4-issue miniseries? Because it says if you want to know what happens with Skye Man, start reading Captain Midnight. So I was kind of thrown off. I was like, okay, I'm ready for issue 5 because it ended on a cliffhanger. It ended on a cliffhanger to start reading another series. I'm like, okay. Overall, not bad. Thought it was really well done. Really well put together. And we're ending this one from OSSM Comics. OSSM. Awesome. We're going to end this with issues 1 through 4 of Thaniei. Oh, man. This was so much better than I expected it to be. It's a gritty black and white comic book. And man, is it good. Thaniei, the son of the Grim Reaper. I'm serious. He is the biological son of the Grim Reaper. He is the son of death. Oh boy. Just the action here was good. The storytelling, the writing, gritty but good. The artwork was so good. It felt so noirish to me. I know I'm probably willing to bet that's not what the artists were going for, but it had kind of a noir feel to it. But the biggest thing that sold it, the biggest thing that gripped me was the drama between father and son, Death and Thaniei. Oh man, I've seen stuff like this before, but this is a whole other scale, man. This is a whole other scale. I mean, and some of the dialogue in here, and some of the interaction, some of the character interaction in this series, I mean, there are a few points where I'm like, whoa, they really went there. I mean, this was good. This was really good. And I'm not usually big on, you know, black and white comic books. Even the original Turtles comics from Mirage Studios. Going back and looking at those, sometimes those are a little tough to read because they look so gritty in black and white and kind of sketchy and everything. But the storytelling is still great. And this is another example, you know, of gritty artwork with a noir style with black and white. The only color you see is the red, is the blood, which is red and everything. But it works. This was awesome. Pun intended. This was good. I really loved it. Thaniei, the son of the Grim Reaper. This was awesome. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to the TheMtVernonKid for sending me this. And kudos to everybody. Big props to everybody who worked on this series. This was really good. I enjoyed it. Well, that's all for this particular stash, everybody. I want to thank you for your patience, and I want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, blugoblinX. Swing by my main channel, Blugoblin01, where I do my main comic book reviews for books that I buy right here at OSSM Comics. Cheap plug. Don't forget to subscribe, as always. Don't forget my bro, TheMtVernonKid. Give him some love. Go to all of his channels. His original channel, TheMtVernonKid, TheMtVernonKid Real Talk, and his comic book review channel, you know, TheMtVernonKid 82. Don't forget my old buddies Deadpoolzilla and Brandon Hex. Jennifer and I are trying to find some new stuff to review for Arkham Asylum Studio. Trust me, we are. But like this channel with the Midtown stashes, Arkham Asylum Studio does not have a set schedule as of right now. As soon as we find some stuff, I promise we'll get something done. Thanks again for watching, everybody. And until next time, see y'all later.